You've hit $100,000 in your TFSA. Congratulations! That's a huge milestone. But what if I told you that this is precisely where the real complexities begin, with hidden traps and secret rules nobody actually tells you about? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on these hidden truths, making sure your tax-free wealth dream doesn't become a nightmare. After years navigating the intricacies of Canadian finance, I know the key to optimizing your TFSA lies in understanding what truly happens at this level. Did you know, despite 19 million Canadians owning TFSAs, recent research reveals that 7 out of 10 are completely unprepared for the critical ramifications that emerge once you cross that $100,000 mark? Stay with me, because what you don't know can hurt your wealth. And speaking of surprises, which of these overlooked TFSA truths do you think will shock you the most? Drop a comment below, even before we dive in. You've worked incredibly hard, diligently saving and investing, watching your TFSA balance grow. You finally hit that $100,000, and it feels like financial freedom is within your grasp. But then you start hearing whispers about business income, complicated withdrawal rules, and estate planning nightmares. Suddenly, that dream of a tax-free fund seems far more daunting, riddled with obscure regulations nobody explains. Many Canadians reach this milestone without the necessary knowledge, transforming what should be a celebration into a source of anxiety. It's like building a beautiful house without checking the blueprints for hidden structural flaws, only to find them when it's too late. Today, we're going to unravel it all. We'll dive into the true meaning of having $100,000 in your TFSA, the hidden withdrawal traps, the CRA's scrutinizing eye, how your investment strategy must change, and even what happens to your TFSA after you're gone. Plus, we'll unlock strategies for even more tax savings and a concrete plan to take your TFSA to $200,000, $500,000, and beyond. This isn't just about information, it's about empowering you to truly control your financial destiny. The $100,000 TFSA milestone is far more than just a number on your statement. It's a profound psychological and practical turning point. For years, you've likely been in an accumulation mindset, focused on contributing every dollar you can, watching it slowly climb. But at $100,000, that dynamic shifts. You're no longer just saving, you're actively managing significant wealth. This new status demands a change in perspective, moving from simply adding funds to strategically growing and protecting a substantial asset. Think of it like graduating from driving school to navigating a high-performance vehicle. The rules are the same, but the stakes are higher and the precision required is much greater. This isn't just about what you can do, but what you should do, because the risks of complacency increase with every dollar. Recognizing this shift is the first step, but what comes next is what truly separates the savvy investor from the struggling one. Because once you've hit $100,000, you're in a position to truly unlock the unparalleled power of tax-free compounding. This isn't just about avoiding taxes on interest or dividends, it's about exponential growth that accelerates at a rate few fully grasp. Imagine $100,000 growing at a conservative 6% annually. In just 12 years, it could double to $200,000, completely tax-free. At $200,000, the leap to $400,000 happens even faster thanks to the magic of compounding. Your money isn't just working, it's multiplying itself without the CRA taking a single cent. This amplification of wealth fundamentally changes your financial trajectory, turning abstract projections into tangible freedom. It's a powerful engine, but only if you avoid the pitfalls that can grind it to a halt, especially when it comes to withdrawals. One of the most insidious and costly traps involves TFSA withdrawals, the Recontribution rules. Many Canadians mistakenly believe that if they withdraw money from their TFSA, they can just put it back whenever they want. But the reality is far more nuanced, and a misstep here can lead to painful overcontribution penalties from the CRA. Here's a common scenario. You withdraw $10,000 in December for an emergency. Feeling financially responsible, you decide to recontribute that $10,000 in January. Sounds logical, right? Wrong. Your contribution room for recontributed funds only resets on January 1st of the following calendar year. So if you withdraw in December 2023, you regain that room on January 1st, 2024. Recontributing in January 2023 would mean you overcontributed by $10,000, resulting in a 1% penalty per month on that amount. Always track your recontribution room meticulously, especially after sackings, and wait for the correct tax year to put funds back. Failing to do so can quickly erode your hard-earned tax-free gains. But that's not the only way the CRA keeps a close eye on your TFSA. The CRA has some serious red flags when it comes to TFSAs, particularly concerning business income. While your TFSA is designed for tax-free investment growth, it is not a tax shelter for active trading that resembles a business. If the CRA deems your trading activity to be carrying on a business, all your gains could be reclassified as taxable business income, wiping out the tax advantages of your TFSA entirely. How do they determine this? They look at factors like the frequency of transactions, the holding period of securities, your knowledge of the market, and the time devoted to trading. Someone buying and selling stocks daily, aiming for quick profits, is far more likely to trigger this red flag than an investor holding diversified ETFs for years. This isn't a theoretical risk. The CRA has aggressively pursued such cases. So, before your TFSA becomes a full-time job, understand that this level of activity could turn your tax-free haven into a very expensive headache. And if your approach needs to change here, what about your overall portfolio strategy? Because reaching $100,000 in your TFSA absolutely demands an evolution in your portfolio strategy. The set-it-and-forget-it approach that worked during accumulation might not be optimal for wealth preservation and sophisticated growth. At this stage, your focus needs to shift from purely aggressive high-growth plays to a more balanced, diversified approach that manages risk effectively.
For example, instead of loading up on speculative growth stocks, you might start incorporating more dividend-paying stocks, real estate investment trusts, REITs, or even fixed income assets to generate steady income and reduce volatility. This isn't about becoming overly conservative. It's about optimizing your risk-adjusted returns and ensuring that your substantial capital is protected while continuing to grow. This reevaluation is critical, but the most overlooked aspect for many Canadians with a large TFSA isn't about growth. It's about what happens after you're gone. Which brings us to your TFSA and your legacy, estate planning essentials that most Canadians overlook, leading to unnecessary taxes and delays for their loved ones. Properly designating a beneficiary, or even better, a successor holder for your TFSA is absolutely critical. Without one, your TFSA assets could be subject to probate, a costly and time-consuming legal process where the courts confirm your will. Imagine your family waiting months, even years, and paying thousands in legal fees just to access your hard-earned tax-free wealth. In contrast, if you designate a successor holder, which only applies to spouses or common law partners in Canada, the TFSA simply transfers directly to them, tax-free, maintaining its status and without going through probate. This simple step can save your loved ones immense stress, time, and money during an already difficult period. It's one of the most powerful yet simplest ways to ensure your financial legacy is honored, but it also ties into a larger shift, the way wealth changes you. The 100,000 mindset shift is perhaps one of the most subtle yet impactful transformations you'll experience. Reaching a significant financial milestone like this can profoundly impact your financial psychology, both for better and for worse. On one hand, you might feel empowered, more confident in making larger financial decisions, and secure in your progress. This newfound confidence can fuel further smart choices. On the other hand, the sheer responsibility of managing a larger sum can feel overwhelming. You might start second-guessing decisions, worrying about potential losses, or even experiencing analysis paralysis. It's a common paradox of wealth. More money can bring more anxiety if not managed emotionally. Practicing conscious financial decision-making and seeking professional advice if the responsibility becomes too much are key to harnessing the positive aspects of this shift. But this isn't the only account you should be thinking about. Because to truly supercharge your savings, you need to think about TFSA synergy with your other registered accounts. Your TFSA doesn't operate in a vacuum. It's a powerful component of your overall financial strategy that can be integrated with other Canadian registered accounts like your RRSP and FHSA to maximize your total tax efficiency. For example, if you're saving for a down payment, leveraging the First Home Savings Account, FHSA, provides a tax-deductible contribution and tax-free withdrawals for a first home similar to a TFSA but with added benefits. Meanwhile, you can continue to maximize your TFSA for long-term growth. Or you might strategically use TFSA withdrawals, which don't impact your income, to create room for RRSP contributions later in your career, optimizing your tax deductions when you're in a higher income bracket.
This strategic interplay allows you to exploit the unique advantages of each account, creating a financial ecosystem where every dollar works smarter, not just harder. Yet, despite all these opportunities, many Canadians still make fundamental errors. Let's quickly recap and help you avoid these 3 costly $100,000 TFSA blunders. First, the most common is the mismanagement of withdrawals and recontributions. Remember that recontribution room is regained the next calendar year, not immediately. Don't fall into the trap of over-contributing and facing penalties. Second, ignoring the risk of business income. If you're actively trading in your TFSA like a day trader, the CRA will notice, and your tax-free gains could be reclassified as taxable income. Understand the line between investing and running a business within your TFSA. Third, inadequate estate planning. Failing to name a proper beneficiary or successor holder means your TFSA could be tied up in probate, costing your loved ones time and money. Proactively reviewing and updating these designations is paramount. These 3 mistakes, while seemingly minor, can have catastrophic financial consequences, undermining years of diligent savings. Now that you've mastered the nuances of the $100,000 mark, let's look beyond your blueprint for $200,000, $500,000, and beyond. This isn't about complex, obscure strategies, but consistent, disciplined application of sound principles. Continue consistent dollar-cost averaging into diversified investments. Reinvest all your dividends and distributions to harness the full power of compounding. Explore broadening your asset allocation to include less correlated assets as your portfolio grows, further managing risk. And most importantly, keep your contributions regularly, maximizing your annual TFSA room as it increases. Define clear financial goals for your TFSA that extend far beyond $100,000, whether it's for retirement, a down payment on a larger home, or simply generational wealth. This actionable plan provides a clear, inspiring roadmap for your continuous wealth accumulation journey. Every day you hesitate to truly understand these nuances is a day your wealth potential is at risk. Your TFSA is an incredibly powerful tool, but its efficacy depends entirely on your knowledge and your willingness to navigate its complexities. Remember, it's not just about accumulating $100,000, it's about shrewdly managing and fiercely protecting that capital for the future you truly deserve. Don't let complacency or misinformation compromise your financial freedom. The power is in your hands, but only if you choose to wield it wisely. If this video has truly shed light on what really happens with $100,000 in your TFSA, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more crucial financial insights, and comment below. Which of these hidden TFSA truths surprised you the most? Your engagement helps us reach more Canadians who need this vital information. The journey to true financial mastery begins with knowledge, and today you are far more equipped.
With this guide, your $100,000 in your TFSA isn't just a milestone. It's a powerful launchpad for complete financial control. You now have the insights to protect your gains, avoid the hidden traps, and confidently plan for a future where your money works harder for you, completely tax-free. Go forth and navigate your tax-free future with absolute confidence, knowing you're building a legacy, not just a balance.